and all my worries, they don't bother you. Collected, you render me useless, but I carry on. Right now, I think that you think that I'm half-drunk, searching for something of substance, casually dropping a line designed to keep you next to me.
I am Jack, and I play guitar in All Time Low, and I sing, kind of, not really, and make dick jokes.
And we carry on. I don't wanna say goodnight. The city comes alive when we're together. Why can't Thursday last forever?
When we first started the band, we started because we wanted to kind of be Blink-182 and Green Day and Sum 41 and Good Charlotte and that whole pop punk kind of explosion during that time, during the early 2000s and what came of that. And we wanted to be that, and we saw how much fun they were having, and we wanted to do that. So that's why we started playing music. We started the band in 2003, and we were all in high school just playing in different bands, and we kind of all just started to come together, and me and Alex recruited Ryan and Zach and made the super group that we are today. And it's been the same 4 members for 10 years, and we went to high school together, and we toured. We've been touring since then, and we got signed in high school, so it's been a really long journey, and we're glad that we're still together doing it. We've had the pleasure of doing some really crazy stuff that we never thought we would do. Other than, having a fan base is one of them, but we've got to tour our idols. We got to tour Blink, and we got to tour Green Day and Foo Fighters and people that we just have spent our lives admiring. And that's really you do it for 2 reasons. You do it for that, and you do it for fans, and we've had the pleasure doing both. We've had some pretty crazy fan moments. We've had a girl break in onto our tour bus and confess her love to Alex while crying, and it got kind of weird, and I kind of wish I had a taser when it happened, but I didn't. I thought she was gonna stab one of us, but John Lennon the shit out of Alex. But we've had people just dudes come up and pull their pants out and sign my dick, and we're just what? And we'll do it. And yeah, we just our fans really like to kind of get weird body parts signed. I think they're just really open with their sexuality and their body, and they like to kind of enjoy that with us. Yeah, we released our 5th album, Don't Panic, this past fall, and it was the theme of the record is dealing with change and growing up, and things that everyone kind of has to deal with, and kind of being chill throughout all of it, and just taking it in strides and not freaking out too much. And it's something that we had to deal with when we changed record labels. We changed from Interscope back to Hopeless, and I think it's our best, or it's our fastest, well-received album, and fans love it, and we love it, and it's going over live. Great. I think it definitely has a couple of meanings. One of the biggest meanings is living life to the fullest, and knowing that you only have one run at this, and you have to have as much fun and do what you want to do, because what else is the point of living, And that's definitely one of the big themes, and there's definitely a strong theme on there about dealing with change, and when we left Interscope, we were kind of lost. It was our first time as a band, not really knowing what to do. It's always been kind of planned out before that. Everything kind of worked perfectly, so that definitely had a lot to do with it. But I think the best thing we could have done is just record an album unsigned, and then sign with our old record label and just go at it again. We released that album a year after our last one, and just kind of pumped it out and just started touring. It was actually Don't Panic was the easiest record we could have made. We were unsigned at the time, so we just literally just went into a studio and just recorded it on our own with one producer, not multiple producers, and it was just it was the smoothest process ever. There weren't really any challenges. I think the biggest challenge was picking a record label to sign with. It was our first time having an option. When we signed to Hopeless, we were in high school. We didn't really have many options. We were just who wants us? And Interscope took us off Hopeless, and then after that, it was really just we had options. We had a fan base, we had music already recorded, so it was kind of just where do we want to go and who's going to do the best job with this album. So I think we made the right decision. We always love trying to get people on our album. We've tried in the past and it almost never works out properly, but this time we got lucky and we got Ryan's girlfriend Cassidy Pope on the album, and she actually ended up winning The Voice the US this past couple months. But we had just recorded Backseat Serenade in the studio, and there's a really high harmony throughout the entire song that Alex couldn't hit because it was super high, and he had been singing all day. His voice was shot, so he's like, "Hey Cass, you want to come back to the studio and record this?" And she did it, and she just killed it. And we actually kept her voice from the demo on the original one, or on the current one that's out. And we had Anthony from Bayside sing on the album on a kind of like the punkier song, just because we're massive fans of his band, and I think that his voice, like the kind of edgier sound to it, lended itself perfectly for that song. And then we had this guy Jason, I can't even say his last name because I don't even know it, but Jason from the band Acceptance, who is broken up now, sing on Outlines, and it was a song that we actually co-wrote with Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy, and he was supposed to originally sing on it, but he couldn't. He had some stuff to do, so we ended up getting our second favorite singer to sing on it, who I think has a killer voice, and it turned out well. It's cool to see a band like Blink leave the label that kind of made their career. You know, it's cool to see a band like that big do it on their own, and it just kind of proves that we could do the same thing. You know, we can just go out there and record a song or record a record and just release it on an independent label or on our own, and have just as much success. You know, I love Blink's new album, and I think they did a great job, and I can't wait to tour them again. That'll be fun. We started our company our band around the same time Glamour Kill started their clothing company. So we kind of grew up together in the same scene, and we started rocking their clothing, and they started promoting our band, and we kind of came up together. So when it came to the point where we wanted to start making our own shirts, they were kind of the obvious choice to go to. And it was almost like a Blink-182 Atticus type thing, except we didn't actually start the company. It was just someone we were working with. So it was cool because that way, like, we could help design the shirts and they could handle the actual making of the shirts, and because we were so busy touring at the time. And I think it was a cool way to just kind of make shirts that are a little out there and ridiculous. Like, not many clothing companies would make a shirt that says boner on it, but we did it and we got away with it, and I think it turned out pretty funny. Seafood. We're from Baltimore, actually, Baltimore, Maryland. We're famous for our crabs, so you can't really get a Maryland crab cake outside Baltimore. Well, you can, but they're not nearly as good, so definitely a Maryland crab cake. Good seafood in Toronto. I grew up in Toronto when I was a little kid, so no, I haven't. But I do have very fond memories of Toronto, because I did live here for a couple years, and I really enjoyed it. I think we're just gonna tour the world. You know, we just released a new album, and we haven't really toured on it very much, so I think we're just gonna do a whole world tour and just get out there, and that's what we do best. So what do I think life is? Party rock, man, is in the house tonight. When I was a little kid, I used to stand in front of the TV and sing Batman, but I couldn't say Batman, so I was like, Batman. And I used to sing and dance and sing Batman in front of when I was growing up in Canada. My mom was like, he's gonna be on stage one day. She knew it. She called it. Lil Bieber.